Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Crazy Talk. I'm so glad that you guys decided to join in today. I know it's been a long, long time since we've last posted an episode. I think it's been about a month. Yeah, about a month. Jeez. But I've had a lot going on and I just needed to get my life together before I could get back. So I just broke that up. That was season one, and we are going to be kicking off season two with some amazing episodes. I have some great guests lined up, some exciting things planned. I am so excited to share with y'all. I hope y'all enjoy. So let's get started. So, today we are going to be talking about coming out. Luckily, not luckily, thankfully, society is moving forward. We are waking up and recognizing that being different is not bad. There's nothing wrong with being different. We're all, if, could you imagine if everybody was just the same? Life would be boring, be dull. So, anyways, um, So society is progressing. We're moving on. So coming out has become a lot more tolerated, accepted, and it's become a lot easier. That being said, not everybody is in a safe environment to come out. And then not everybody feels like they have the support to come out. So unfortunately, we still have people waiting years to come out, staying in the closet for so long. And studies show like that's very damaging. The LGBT community has a very high rate of mental health problems, and we need to fix that. I've actually got a great LGBT activist lined up. I cannot wait to share that with y'all. It's so exciting. And we are going to be addressing some of those issues. So hit that follow button so you do not miss that episode. But anyways, yes, the LGBT community has been suffering for so long. And unfortunately, we have teenagers taking their own lives. We have so many teens suffering from depression. It's it's sad. It's terrible. And unfortunately, in today's world, like yes, we starting to move forward with the LG with being gay. That's becoming more and more accepted. But we're living in a world where we feel so isolated and alone that that's becoming a whole nother problem in itself. So, anyways, like I was saying, like not everybody may feel like they have the support system to come out. Um, so instead, they choose to live in fear, hide themselves for years and years. And, we grow to like hate ourselves or find ourselves disgusting or, really pushing ourselves so far deep, we end up not even knowing who we are. So when we're 20, 30 years old, we're out here acting like teenagers because we didn't get to live our teenage years. We suppressed ourselves for so long. We put who we knew, what society wanted, we showed that. We didn't pay any attention to the other selves. That was for our own pleasure. That was for ourselves to deal with. We listened to Katy Perry or Taylor Swift quietly in our room so nobody could judge us. We walked tall, we stood tall, straight up. We made sure not to bend our knee too much or bend our wrist. That way we wouldn't give away who we were. These minor details we paid attention to, changing such minor things. Any detail that would give away that we might be gay, we were hiding. And that's suffocating. It's isolating. And it's teaching us that something's wrong with us when nothing is wrong with us. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. So don't let anybody tell you anything different. And please don't think that because you are beautiful, you are amazing, you are smart, and you deserve to be here, regardless of who you decide to love. I get so easily distracted, but I'm glad I said that. But so, like I'm saying, not everybody can come out. Even though, we have lots of LGBT movies now. I absolutely love that for our community, for those young teens that can have a picture of love, a love that it seems more attainable, you know. Back in my day, you know, I'm actually jealous. I cannot watch those movies strictly because it literally hurts me. Like I know it's still I'm a grown ass adult, but it literally I feel a little bit of resentment because I did not have that growing up. Um, there was nothing shown. If there the movies that were out were in foreign languages, you couldn't even understand. There was nothing, nothing. Anything gay was just like a blimp in a show and it wasn't really showing realistic love. But you know, today's shows, they're more I don't know how realistic they are. Like I said, I can't really watch them without feeling jealous because I didn't have that. But I'm just saying like that shows the progression in society that these kids can see that is just great. It's very great to see your community represented on TV and it does so much for our self-esteem and so much more. It can help us feel more comfortable make us feel like we have a community out there regardless of our home life, you know. So I'm so glad we have that, but we still have so much work to do. Um, you know, my story was bad, but so many people had it worse than me. Um, my coming out story, that's going to be on my bonus series. So make sure you subscribe to that so you can hear it dropping Friday. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited. It's filled with a lot of drama, a lot of tea, and, you know, has some crazy stories in there. So make sure you watch. So I'll save my coming out story for that. So please, please, please go subscribe and watch that. But I had it pretty bad, but nothing compared to these other people's. When I was doing my research, I will drop the link in my bio, but when I was doing my research and building my website, I wanted to make sure that people had resources, that they could access resources from my site specifically to all these other resources, you know. So as I was gathering some resources to link in my website, I came across this one for the trans community. When I tell you, when I came across this website, my heart broke. Like, yes, I'm so relieved that we have this access and the capabilities that we do today, but the fact that they have to implement this broke me. So, the website, I can't remember what it's called right now, but like I said, I will link it in the bio and I'll link it like somewhere probably right there. If I can figure out how to do that. But anyways, so the website, it has an emergency exit key, which is amazing because you know a lot of transgender people, you know, don't have that support system, and some people unfortunately would get it could risk their lives if their parents found out what they were looking at on the computer, you know. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in, and we have parents that would rather their kid not be trans or part of the LGBT community at all and would rather take their life or physically harm them, all in the name of keeping them straight. It just it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. But anyways, the site has a emergency exit key, which is amazing. So like you're doing your research, you're finding your community, and that's so important for our young kids, to know someone's out there. They can find tips, helpful information, and all of that. So, and you hear your parents coming or whoever's coming, you can all, I think it was like Escape maybe, and the whole website filled to like a regular search engine, and it was just regular, like nothing was there, instant. In which, like I said, that broke my heart that that's even a thing. It's terrible. It's sad. But I'm so grateful and I'm so glad. And shout out to y'all, for building that website. And we need more awareness of this because not everybody knows that. So, they could be searching a regular website, they're finding information the best way they can. And then someone walks in and sees them because they didn't have that escape key, you know? And then unfortunately, the situation would go sideways. But that's why that shouldn't even be a thing. Like, I don't understand what y'all think y'all are doing by hurting these kids just because you don't like them, the idea of them being gay. That's what we need to talk about. Why our children are not feeling safe coming to us. That shows that something's wrong with you as a parent versus there's something wrong with your kid. It literally just breaks my heart. It really does. Coming out is so hard, and it's such an experience that so many people have to go through. You know, it's such an emotional experience that people have to go through. And you know, a big misconception is you just come out once. Once you come out that one time, it's done. It's good. And then the all that pressure. It's like when you're ready to come out, it's like this big weight sitting on your chest you're about to lift off. It's like your heart's racing and you can't breathe. Because you know all your life you've been suppressed and suffocated and stuffed into this box, suffocating just so when you finally ready to come out, it's just like this big thing, sigh of relief. Until you're in a new environment and you have to come out again. And then you get your first job, and then you have to come out to them. Hope you meet a new group of friends, and they assume you're straight. Coming out is a lifelong journey, and ideally, it gets easier and easier. But you know, I find it it gets easier and easier. Let me stop. It does get easier and easier. Um, a lot less scary. But you know, some people like me, you'll hear in my story, like my parents really reinforced the fact that I would be murdered or beaten up and bullied for being gay. If anybody knew, I would likely die. That was what I was taught. So really coming out was very fearful. I, it was just a horrible experience every time I was put in that situation. But you know, the world is a lot less judgmental than we think. Thank God. There are still these idiots. There are still these, you know, fools out here that think they can say anything, do anything, and act any type of way. But God forbid we just live our life peacefully just because we're gay. Unfortunately, do still have that. But we do have the support in the community, um, that if you feel in your heart that it's time to come out, definitely find your community because they will have your back. And it's a beautiful thing. You don't have to go through this alone. You don't have to be alone. It's it's a big world. And please don't let your parents hold you back. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot be you because you is the best thing you could be. So we need to be asking ourselves, why are these kids feeling so uncomfortable? Why do we have the natural instinct to hide the gay? You know, hide who we are and suppress our true self? Well, let me tell you a little secret. It's not a natural instinct. It's not. As kids, we don't give a fuck. We don't have a concept of who we are, we don't have a concept of society. We don't have a concept of people not liking us because of certain behaviors. We are our most authentic selves. But then that negative reinforcement comes in when you get hit for being too gay, or you get called gay and you don't even know what that is as a 3-year-old child because you're playing with dolls, or you're crying because and your parents say you're acting girly. And I tell you, that's where homophobia comes from, because all of y'all little parents want to tell these boys they're gay for crying. They're gay for having feelings. You make them so insecure, so fearful of other people thinking they're gay that they think, you know, you're ingraining in them, or I can't think of the word. You're ingraining in that brain of theirs that there's something wrong with being gay, first of all, and that their behavior is going to identify them as gay. So they'll spend years overcorrecting and being offended if anyone of gay people, you know, because they don't want to be thought of that way because they're not gay. It's not gay to cry. It's not gay to play with dolls. It's not gay to have feelings. It makes you a normal human being. Imagine that. Boys are curious kids. We're allowed to play with whatever the fuck we want. And I bet you if you had a lot more boys playing with dolls, we'd have a lot more good fathers in here, okay? So we really need to watch what the hell we're saying around kids. And a lot of people have a misconception that they only need to be watching their mouths so their kids don't pick up on cussing. That doesn't just apply just to cussing. What about their self-esteem, their view of the outside world or themselves? Come on now. You telling these kids that it's girly to cry, or boys can't play with certain things, girls can't play with certain things. That's teaching them that their wants, their feelings are invalid and wrong. Do better. These side comments of seeing men kiss on TV because it makes you uncomfortable. Your child hears that, I promise you. Your little snickers when you see two men holding hands outside, or you see a little gay scene slip up on the TV, those nasty comments, your kid hears you. That look of disappointment when your kid's playing with heels, your kid sees that. And you snatching that girl toy away from that boy and telling him he needs to act like a boy, he's going to remember that. Those negative comments and those negative reactions and those constant trying to force these kids into a box that they do not want to be in, all has negative impacts, and all leads up to your kids' detachment from you, kids' resentment towards you, and kids hiding their true authentic self from you. So the next time you ask yourself or you think to yourself why your kid is no longer talking to you, reflect back on that. When you wonder why your kid didn't tell you about their new boyfriend or girlfriend, reflect back on that. There's always a reason, I promise you. And you can do better. Even if you were a parent that did that, firsthand experience, hand on the Bible, I swear to God, it's not the end. You will, as long as you and your child is breathing, you will have a chance to make up for what you did. You don't have to like it, but you do have to accept it. They are your kid. The very least you could do is tolerate them. Okay? I mean, and tolerating is the very, very minimum. But you don't have to make no side comments. You can think all you want, but you do not have to say it. And unfortunately, we live in a world where everybody thinks they can say whatever the hell they want to at any cost to anybody else's feelings. We live in a world where we think we have a right to voice and force our opinions on everybody else's lives. Just because they're your child does not mean you get to dictate who they love. Just because they're your child does not mean you get to dictate how their life is going to turn out. You can hope and dream all you want, honey, but I promise you, you can't force that kid to do anything they don't want to do. And you need to think about that. Because, like I said, you're pouring into their cup. And whether it's a negative or beneficial shit, it's going in there. So, okay. Well, my phone just slowed down. So that is the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I did not ramble for too long and I was coherent. Please, 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 please drop a comment. Tell me how you like the episode. Subscribe, share. You would really help me out. Much love. I will see y'all next week. Bye.